We got our first snowfall of 2020, and probably won't be staying around very long, but giving us a hint of things to come. So anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to come out for a little trip into the woods. And of course, it's now hunting season. It's in November, so gotta have some sort of orange. Still fairly close to the road, which is probably why you can hear traffic and some truck backing up. Anyhow, should be a nice little trip. Happened to be getting some tires put on my car, so it gives me a chance to get into the woods while I'm waiting for that to finish up. My father really likes to mow the pathways up here. And look, beautiful view of the bay. You can see for miles. It's amazing how loud those backup beepers are on vehicles. How much road noise you still get when you're up fairly far from it. Nice little sheltered spot. My father calls this his burl forest, with all these cool looking burls on the spruce trees. There's a really big one over there. Might show it to you later. It's what he calls the king burl. It's the biggest one on the property. He did a lot of clearing out of the brush to make a nice kind of park-like spot. And then when he found old tin cans and stuff, he put them in the trees. There's a bunch down over that way. And some of them fall off, like this feller here. And I'm gonna try out a do-it-yourself DIY bush buddy, wood gasifier stove, just made out of a couple of tin cans. Have a cup of hot chocolate. Oh, we'll see how it all goes. Still spider webs. They're full of snow. The problem with going through the woods with this particular camera, which is just my phone because I'm cheap, is that it's probably not great quality with the videos I discovered in one of my previous videos, but oh well, whatever. Stuck with it. More burls. Remnants of the old homestead. Always gotta love it when there's barbed wire fencing kicking around. Luckily, it mostly just borders the property, so we don't have to worry about it. I'm always fascinated as well by these rock walls, because that's fairly wide. It's probably 8 feet wide, and it goes pretty much the full length of the property on this spot, which is probably several hundred feet. And the amount of work that has gone into that, you know, it just makes me tired even thinking about how much work has gone into those rock walls. And they don't make people like they used to. Life was not the easiest thing, and we take a lot of stuff for granted, for sure. There's more rock over on this side. Don't know if you can see it very well, but a lot of work with nothing but cattle and what do you call it, a sled. And a lot of time they would have rolled the rocks onto a sled, brought the cattle over here, made a rock wall between their property and the neighbor's property, and it's like I said, it just makes me tired even thinking about it, and how almost lazy we've become as a society, that's for sure. There's a little trout that lives in there as well, but we obviously can't see him today. I have to do some studying as well for a prayer meeting that we have tonight. So, got my little New Testament and Psalms and Proverbs, because we're studying out of the New Testament for prayer meeting, and be able to stone a couple birds at once, get some work done, and at the same time enjoy nature, and also get a video up for you guys, which you guys will be seeing this Friday night if I decide to put it up. It's completely impromptu, so not sure exactly what my plan is. Nice little woodsy area. Quite blessed to have this as part of, so close to where I live. And well, actually, I will be living at the house that this property is on for the winter, since we haven't been able to find a new place to live yet since selling our old place. So still not being moved into the district that I'm supposed to be in for my pastoring job, but we'll get there eventually. So, yeah. It is a spider web catching some snow. I found this old thing underneath a couple of trees nearby, and my father stuck it up in the tree. It's an old cow skull. My wife says it's creepy. I don't know, it's just old bones, who cares? We are getting close to where I want to make that cup of hot chocolate, so get ourselves some birch bark. Whoop. Yeah, a little slug. this was a really interesting kind of setup because you've got a yellow birch right here, then a white birch, and then a yellow birch goes up. And then when it was harvested, they decided to just take this one chunk of the yellow birch. Kind of annoying, but that's what happens. We got a nice clump anyway. I'll have to get some twigs when we sit down. So this is the startings of a lean-to that we had. Don't have a tarp with me, wish I did. Remnants of an old Siberian log fire that we had made. And my phone has decided that it doesn't like the cold weather, so I'm going to have to try warming it up again before it dies on me a second time. And yeah, we'll try and get a spiritual lesson in here somewhere. Gotta be pretty thrifty with my battery power here since my phone's acting funny, but got some hot chocolate, a couple of sweet and salties, and the stove. Oh, she's damp. She's damp, 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 damp. Since I don't have forever, I went with the cheat sheet. Should have tested this out before. That'll probably spill by the time it's all said and done. There we go. Sometimes you gotta get the kinks worked out of it. This is the first time I've used this. Wasn't expecting the cup not to fit because I had used it with my pot, but I decided not to bring the pot. I said I'll just go really lightweight because I just got a very tiny backpack with me. And, you know, was just doing this to kill some time between now and when my tires are changed. And this is what happens. Doesn't always work out the way you expect it to the first time around. But that's okay, because that's all part of learning and practicing and getting better. And I don't consider myself an expert in anything, so I'm always just learning just like everybody else is. I will say one thing, I also learned that this handle's getting hot. So maybe twist it away from that opening a bit. Yeah, everything's getting soaked. I have gotten fires lit, and much worse than this, and absolute downpours and everything, not just snow. But it, in a rush, didn't prepare things the way I should have. Should have got a bigger sheet of birch bark. Should have kept it under my jacket so it wouldn't get wet. Should have stripped it down further and got some of the inner peelings. A survival situation's a lot different than just an afternoon or part of an afternoon in the woods. Hopefully it doesn't turn into hopefully something like that never turns into a survival situation, but you never know. But I'll enjoy some turtle flavored hot chocolate. The other thing I realized is this spark rod being on the end of that knife just wobbles too much. I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan. It's very convenient, but it doesn't work very well. Having the fat wood there is not bad, but we'll have to come up with something different. It's just that I like everything you need to, get yourself through a hard time is just right here in one little package, but maybe I'll have to switch something up. Anyway, the lesson I was going to talk about, not going to talk about it because this is kind of giving me a different perspective on things. There we go. And that is the pressures that we put on people, especially, we'll say, new believers, new Christians. They're not going to get everything right. I've never used a Bush Buddy style stove before. This is just a make it myself tin can deal. But I never used one before, don't know the ins and outs of it. And I didn't do it quite right. I know a lot of different things that I'll change for the next time, but today isn't the next time. And so we place a lot of pressure on people, and we need to remember that they're not always doing things out of habit like some of us may be. In fact, they may be brand new to a lot of these different things. And we need to have patience, kindness, and help them out best we can without putting too much pressure on them and without discouraging them. Because, sometimes new things are discouraging enough, and we don't need the extra pressure from church family and whatnot. So, yeah, that's what I got for you. Well, I am now soaked. So I'm going to finish this off, head back, and at least I got my tires on right in the nick of time. And this one's for Dad. Get yourself some winter tires. Get away from those all seasons. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful day. It's coming down pretty good. saw their tracks on the way down in the fresh snow, and so I was keeping my eye out for them, and then I didn't realize I went past them, and I saw they went into the woods, and as soon as I looked I could see their outline. But even though I will get sick of the snow, but I do love it. Getting back to the road now, you can probably hear that nonsense. Anyhow, it's been a good afternoon. Lessons learned, stuff to bring next time. Never take anything for granted. And yeah.